The Nephilim! Tyrael sent me to find you. Malthael has taken the Black Soul Stone. You must come with me.
I think not. People are dying down there. They need my help.
But you and Tyrael need to form a plan. We must find Malthael.
Tell Tyrael I will meet him in Westmarch. Go!
It will be done. I swear it. The guard was struck by the maiden's magic. I heard the sound of his screams until his flesh had dissolved to nothing, and only his armor-clad skeleton remained, his jaw unhinged. Blue mist swirled around his bones, coalescing into new flesh. When at last I cut him down, the phantasmal flesh exploded, leaving only a pile of armor behind.
Ah, good. Good. Ah, good. This is not good.
The gates! Carnage must end. We'll have to find a way into the city.
Though this Reaper wields a dangerous sword, its shield, with its rows of razor-sharp spikes, poses the greater threat. With a single thrust, it can open a man from waist to throat. That shield was not made for protection. It was made to cripple, maim, and kill. Malthael's fallen angels have brought death to Westmarch, raising an army of Reapers from the city's slain defenders. Once, these men and women were our protectors. Now, they are our executioners, scouring the city for every living soul and putting them to the sword.
Go out into the streets.
Spend wisely.
It's the end of the world. So many have been killed and the Reapers are everywhere.
Is anyone alive in there?
General Torian was defending a group of refugees at the old Zakharoom Cathedral, but they're likely all dead by now.
Wait! You're the wizard who saved Bastion's Keep. You'll save us too, won't you?
Of course. It's what I do. Keep moving. I think we lost her. No, no!
With demon blood must die.
Demon blood? They were just innocent people.
The shadow touched me, and darkness spread across my vision until all I could see was blackness. It gave way to a pale light that sapped my strength. It seemed so easy. But instead, I drew upon the last of my will and fought back. Color flooded back into my sight. The shadow was right before me, and I drove my spear through it.
Coming, did you?
The Revenant Shield Guards were once the personal guard of King Justinian IV, appointed to the position for bravery and skill at arms. They accompanied the king at all times, resplendent in their ornate armor, wrought by the finest craftsmen in Westmarch. But most spectacular were their shields, which they unerringly employed in the protection of their king.
You dare attack me!
Defend the church! Help me, vile reaper! I don't like the look of that. An incredible feat!
We found you.
Tyrael, why is Malthael so intent on destroying this city?
Because he feeds on death. Every time his reapers kill, he grows stronger. And with the prime evil gone, Malthael believes this is the perfect time to end the eternal conflict.
Humanity has nothing to do with that war.
Though we are descended from angels as well as demons, Malthael is so short-sighted, he can only see our demonic heritage.
The church! All the refugees are inside! Follow me! Akarat's Bay! This is worse than I feared.
What are these things?
Left alone. Your soul will be mine.
We must do everything in our power to slow the Nephilim down, so that the collection of souls is not interrupted. It is the key to Malthael's victory.
Just tell me where to find Malthael, and I'll put an end to this carnage.
I know only that he is not in Westmarch. He could have taken the Black Soul Stone anywhere in creation.
But why does he want the stone? Is there any way to find out?
There may be. A sliver broke off when Malthael took the Soul Stone. Perhaps by studying that sliver, I can learn his plans.
You'd best get started on figuring it out. If you need me, I'll be saving the city. What's bothering you, Cormac? You're not your usual joyful self today.
For too long have I lived with the knowledge that my order tortures its initiates and twists their minds. I need to know how high this evil reaches. If my whole order is corrupt, what does it mean to be a Templar? What am I?
A great man, who lived his life adhering to a code he believed to be true.
But it wasn't, was it? The guilty will answer for their transgressions. I swear it.
General Torian, that Death Maiden in the cathedral was using an arcane magic unfamiliar to me. Do you know what she was doing?
She was creating an orb that turns the living into Malthael's death creatures. A single orb can transform hundreds of innocent people every hour, and my men report 2 more of them out in the city.
Soul Crucibles. With 2 of them, Malthael has an endless supply of soldiers.
Not for long. He will soon find himself without his unending army, once I destroy these crucibles. The Soul Crucibles turn the dead into Reapers?
Sadly, yes.
Including the Death Maidens?
Their story is as tragic as Malthael's. Once the vanguard of his wisdom angels, they followed him down the path to darkness. Malthael, my brother, he was wisdom, leader of our council, first among angels. And now, he has become this.
What could have changed him so?
After the destruction of the World Stone, Malthael's mood darkened, and he left the heavens frequently. Then he disappeared completely. He must have developed a connection, no, an obsession with human souls.
Frankly, I don't really care. Death is meant to free our souls, not devour them. How can studying the sliver of the Black Soul Stone reveal Malthael's plans to you?
The sliver is still connected to the Soul Stone. As the stone changes, the sliver will change too. Therefore, I can observe what Malthael is doing to the stone, and if we're lucky, even discover his plan.
What brings the Haradrim back now?
Tyrael rebuilt the Order to help him take the Soul Stone from heaven, and to protect mankind. After all, you can't be everywhere at once, no matter how powerful you are.
Well, perhaps someday I will solve that problem.
At long last, a hero comes to save us. That won't bring my wife back, though, will it?
My library isn't far from here. I was closing everything up for the day when I heard the fighting in the streets. I barred the doors and then squeezed through the back window to escape. But I'll have to come up with something more exciting when I write my official account, won't I? You've heard the legend of the Tomb of Rakus, haven't you? Its location has never been found. Most scholars think it's underneath Westmarch, but I suspect it's somewhere outside the city. Rakus was a clever man, after all.
Westmarch originally grew from the efforts of the great General Rakus to spread his religion beyond the realms of the East. Seized by the superstitions of the Zakarum faith, he drove his paladins relentlessly across the barbaric western lands, subduing the uncivilized tribes he found there. Ultimately, he became king of them all.
Receive solace from pain.
We stayed to fight, Robert and me, but he fell. And when they started to tear into him, I panicked. I ran.
I am certain you would have died too had you stayed.
What is it?
Did you grab the jewelry at least?
Harold, those monsters were about to kill us.
Well, I would rather be dead than poor.
I found him in the streets. He seemed in a daze, so I brought him here with me, but he's hardly said anything. He's nobility of some sort, but I don't recognize the seal on his ring.
The flames!
The flames? Well, he was covered in soot. Perhaps he escaped from a fire. He never says more than a word or two at a time.
Duncraig is just death in horror. I thought I'd be safe here, but we've nowhere left to hide.
Why would the angels do this to us?
What are you saying? This is obviously a demon's work.
I know who is responsible for this. It's the poor. They've summoned these monstrosities to take Westmarch for themselves.
I keep hearing things. My mind must finally be going.
Is there anything on your mind, Hadric?
Do you think Cardium is under attack as well?
I would think so. Quite sad, after all we did there.
At least they have the Iron Wolves. The Lord of Lies could not break them. The Angel of Death will not either.
Good.
I can't believe we're still alive. And it's all thanks to you. I thought we would die in that foul-smelling place.
Everything you require, right here.
You ask who's to blame for this doom? All of Westmarch, reveling in sin, worshipping petty idols. The Zakarum are gone, and the Order of Malthael now rises. Praise Malthael, and your souls may yet be saved. He spares only the faithful. Donate to the Order, and prove your conviction.
It is good to see you again, though it seems like we are only brought together in the worst of circumstances. But I suppose if times were better, we would never have met. For a moment, I heard one of my sister's voices, but I could not make out the words.
Perhaps it is an echo of the magic the Prophet used to put you and your sisters to sleep.
My sisters are gone now, and I am the last memory of a world long since forgotten.
You do not know how your sisters died, or how the Prophet's magic failed.
Oh, the world's under attack and people are dying everywhere. It must be time for us to go on another adventure, right?
I will soon be facing the Lord of Terror, and there is little time left to us. Tell me who you really are.
Despite your education, you still suspect I may be something other than a simple jeweler?
I don't know what to believe anymore. The world is full of things I once thought I understood.
Isn't it though? But there's one truth you can count on. Truth is never quite as interesting as wild speculation. At any rate, when you defeat Diablo, don't laze about. We have other lands to explore, you and I. Dirge's jewel is still out there somewhere. Did you know there were once 2 moons? Lyria is the one that is no more. I think it's time I told you the whole story of Zai and his master, the god of desire, Dirges.
Of course. I'd love to hear your version of that story. I'm certain it will be amusing.
Well, it's not amusing. Dirge's jewel has appeared again. And the time for secrets is over.
No more secrets? Then tell me if you are a god.
There was a great gem market here in Westmarch. I spend many a carefree day browsing the aisles. To think that I will never again see all those happy little stalls, those rows of jewels, and those gem cutters.
What the hell is going on out there?
Someone came for me. After all this time.
My friend Hadrid couldn't take your wailing any longer.
Bloody miracle! Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I owe you both.
Nonsense. Let's get you to safety.
Unimaginable!
You dare attack me?
After Malthael's disappearance, the Angiris Council appointed his most loyal servant, Urzael, to find him and bring him back to the high heavens. Urzael, accompanied by the sect of maidens who were Malthael's closest followers, set out to find their absent master. They never returned.
How does that feel? I don't have enough arcane power.
Mighty adversary is before us. We have done it! I once thought nothing could defeat the army of Westmarch.
This is too clean for Reaper kills. So who did this?
Death to the nobles!
What is this?
Revolution! It's time for our oppressors to fall. The king is in the city, but we have a trap waiting for him.
I hate to question your genius plan, but it seems like a very bad time to depose your king.
What? You're not with us? Then die with our enemies!
Lord Winton, we are thrilled that you have located a surviving regiment of soldiers. With this new force, we can turn the tide and save our city. Your disagreements with the Crown are well known, but we are glad you can put them aside in this dangerous time. Long live Westmarch!
Are nothing.
Some of my men are pinned down in the courtyard, fighting revenants. Please help me rescue them. Know why this is happening. It's madness!
Just get your men to the Survivors' Enclave at the Cathedral as quickly as possible. Arcane power. How does that feel?
All know the reputation of the exorcists of Westmarch. Those spiritual warriors specialized in removing demonic possession. By custom, they arrive in darkness, clad in cloaks as black as the night that conjured them. They work in secret, extracting the demons that dwell within their subjects. Now, Malthael has turned them, and they roam the city in their inhuman forms, stripping the souls from all they encounter.
Of my pleading, the Angiris Council has finally agreed to send me in search of Malthael. I will not fail in this, as my master's presence is sorely needed in the high heavens. Owing to Malthael's growing fascination with the humans, Tyrael has suggested I begin my search on Sanctuary.
Maiden controls the Soul Crucible. Time for her to die.
Place for her in our world, so let us help her leave it.
Oh, the darkness down above.
Thank you. I knew you would arrive in time to save me.
How could you know that?
I am Miriam Jazia, a seer of the Vetchin people. I foresaw our meeting, but I did not see this horror. I have come to help you. There is one crucible left, and if you destroy that, the maidens will not be able to create more. There is no time to waste. We must be on our way now. Malthael, he's watching you.
I did not find Malthael on Sanctuary, but I did find humans. Far too many of them. They murder and cheat one another while allowing their brothers to starve. If their true power is ever released, we are all doomed. They have a choice between good and evil, and they overwhelmingly choose evil.
You should cease following me and get to the Survivors' Enclave before you're killed.
Nonsense. You protect me. And after experiencing what those things do to people, let's just say, I need to see you destroy the final crucible with my own eyes if I am ever to sleep again.
I encountered the most troublesome bats in the caves outside Westmarch. My companions and I had sheltered there with the intent of organizing my many records, when the miserable creatures appeared and tore several of the scrolls to pieces. Truly, the world shall be a poorer place for this lost wisdom.
My grandfather was buried here. I pray he isn't one of these risen dead. I'd hate to have to put him down.
The seraph was on me before I knew it. The mass of its bloated flesh soundless as it floated above the ground. When I finally noticed it, I could not move. It was as though I was trapped in a waking nightmare. I looked down and saw tendrils of energy wrapped around my feet and realized it was not fear that held me, but the seraph's magic.
Nothing. So good, I astound myself. Need more arcane power. are nothing! I don't have enough arcane power. I am so good, I astound myself. I am so good, I astound myself.
You are such the artist when it comes to dispatching Death's minions. Don't mind me. I'll just be waiting.
Need more arcane power.
A glorious development. Ah, good. Ah, good.
What was that?
That would be Urzael.
And just who is this Urzael?
Urzael is the angel who commands Malthael's forces in this city. I think you made him angry.
Good. Let's get to the Enclave. I need to see if Tyrael has made any progress. I need to go back.
I heard Tyrael is an angel. Why isn't he helping Malthael?
Well, who said he isn't?
Remember that noise I heard? It was that lad you rescued.
I'm Bryson. I came here to see your friend.
And now he won't go away.
You saved his life. Doesn't that make you responsible for him?
No, I'm responsible for myself. Though I have decided to repay Hadric by helping him.
And I told you to stay away from my forge. Oh, I can't believe it. My best hammer's gone missing. It couldn't have walked off on its own now, could it, lad?
One of the men needed a hammer. He promised to return it.
Fool boy! I'll never see it again!
I'm sorry, Hadric.
Get out of my sight!
I don't feel like talking right now. I grew up over by the docks. Not the good part of town, but it's what my parents could afford. They died when the plague swept through a few years ago, within hours of each other. Like they had to stay together. I used to hate them for leaving me, but now, it's a relief they didn't have to see all this happen.
Mother warned me about the poor. They want my wealth, but they don't want to work for it. And now they've created an army of death creatures. Well, when I'm king, I'll just show them. We're not going to die, are we? Tell me we're not going to die. I don't want to lose my soul!
We need to get out of here. Hide in the bog, anywhere. As long as it's away from the cities.
He's been agitated ever since he mentioned the woman. Who was she? Did she start the fire?
Looking for something. Something hidden.
I don't know what to do. He's getting worse. I fear he will not live much longer.
Those who perish without embracing Malthael are eternally damned. But I can commune with our Lord, asking him to grant them a reprieve. Only a simple payment is required.
Bless my poor husband, please!
You must save my children!
Please, my friends, one at a time. Bring your offerings to the stand, and I will grant your loved ones this blessing.
I was telling you about Lyria, wasn't I? Oh, she was so beautiful that Durgis was determined to make her his own. Oh, yes, he pursued her relentlessly, showering her with gifts and attention until she succumbed and agreed to become his wife. But Durgis' jealousy was so great, he hid Lyria high in the heavens, far away from the reach of men and gods.
Jealousy is for the weak-minded. It clouds one's reasoning with wanton desire.
Yes, that was Durgis. Desire was his very nature.
Could it be that the Prophet abandoned us? Why else would his magic fail to protect us while we slept?
We can't answer those questions, but his magic did succeed in keeping you safe.
But my sisters died. Why them and not me?
Fate likes to toy with us. Perhaps you lived for some special reason, but it could just as easily have been luck.
I cannot believe that. There was a reason, and I will find it. When I left my sister Lysa, I took her magic focus as a reminder. I scryed it today to see if it held any clues, and I found strong traces of the demonic magic that killed her. It reminded me of the Visceri's magic from before we served the Prophet.
Those mages are long dead. Any thirst they had for revenge died with them.
When I cast the magic upon her focus, I heard her voice again, and this time, I understood. She said one word. Irena.
There's no easy way to say this, but I have to leave, and I won't be returning.
Very funny.
I'm serious. My brother's imprisoned in Kingsport with no way to defend himself, and I must free him.
I understand your concern, but you will die long before you reach Kingsport if Westmarch falls.
All right. I'll stay for as long as I can, but only because I know how much you need me. It's time for me to go. My brother will die in the Kingsport dungeons if I don't act now.
A Kingsport prisoner, you say? Those poor devils were all transported to our cells in Westmarch last week. But we haven't heard from the garrison since the attack started.
Edlin, I have to find him. Will you help me, my friend? Right then. This is where they're holding Edlin. Let me do the talking.
Looking for your brother, Lyndon?
Wait, this is not right.
That is no guard. The Thieves Guild always finds who it's looking for. Unfortunately for you, he's our friend.
The Thieves Guild infiltrated the entire dungeon?
You really angered them, friend.
Unstoppable.
You suffer for what you did tonight!
Edlin! He's...
I am sorry, my friend.
I never should have joined the guild. He told me, but I wouldn't listen.
You bear no responsibility for his death, Lyndon. He was killed before we reached Westmarch.
That dagger looks very familiar.
Take it with you, but be quick about it. It is time to leave. This isn't your fault, Lyndon. You must not blame yourself.
What do you want me to say? That I wish he'd never known me? That I wish he'd had a brother who didn't fail him?
You need to let go of your grief. It will do nothing but prey on your mind.
And I suppose the mightiest hero in all the land knows just how to help, eh? No. No, this is something you can't understand.
You are a quiet sort, Serena. Sneak back home and fetch some of our savings.
But the streets are crawling with those horrid creatures.
That's precisely why you must go, dearest. Nobody notices you.
Is this truly the work of angels? I don't understand. How could they?
Sadly, it's true. One of the angels has gone mad. I am going to put him and his followers down like the dogs they are.
Good.
Why fight so hard? Thousands are dead. What do another dozen matter?
And now I hear those Reapers are taking people's souls? This is madness! And now I hear those Reapers are taking people's souls?
If you hadn't come along when you did, I don't know what might have happened.
It was the least I could do. Anyone would have done the same.
But you didn't have to help. You could have run right by.
After Corellan's death, the crown passed to Justinian I, through a somewhat convoluted interpretation of Zakharum's scripture. Thus began the Justinian dynasty. Seen as usurpers by many, the Justinians suffered nearly constant challenges to their rule. Finally, during the reign of Justinian III, a full-fledged insurrection broke out in the outlying region of Cartharis.
How have you held out so long against the Reaper's onslaught?
It has been a brutal task. A lot of good men sacrificed themselves to save us. But even that wasn't enough. If you hadn't shown up when you did, we might already be dead.
Why haven't the other cities of Westmarch sent reinforcements? Bramwell? Kingsport? What are they waiting for?
Have you not heard? Cities everywhere are under attack. No place is safe.
Yes, Malthael strikes all across Sanctuary. All evil will be destroyed.
Can I ask you about Deckard Cain?
He was a wise man, a great scholar. He didn't deserve to die the way he did. If he had lived, who knows how events would have unfolded. Everything would be different.
Could one man make such a difference?
I'd prefer not to speak of this any longer. I have a city to save.
Tyrael told me of your actions. You killed Diablo himself.
Yes, I did. It was my destiny. I was fulfilling a prophecy written long before I was born.
I don't know that the world will ever understand what it took to face such pure evil.
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps I'll write about my adventures one day.
My father was the commander of the Knights of Westmarch. He assumed I would become a soldier, just like him.
You did not want to be a soldier?
I grew up on stories of the fearless Horadrim, Tal Rasha, Jared Cain. That was what I wanted to be. My father thought it was all myth. Wasn't he surprised when I actually became one of them?
Look, the sliver is changing.
Malthael is altering the stone in some manner.
Exactly. He's been gathering strength from the souls of Westmarch in order to alter the stone. Yet his purpose still eludes me.
He's killing everyone. What more do you need to know?
If we want to stop him, we must know what he's going to do next.
Urzael has done this to finish collecting the souls of Westmarch.
Urzael, it is well past time for him to die. Where is he?
All I know is that he is in a tower somewhere in the Westmarch Heights, and that he will be quite rude to you. Before you set out to kill him, you should stop by my cart. I can enchant some items for you.
What can you tell me about Urzael?
He is Malthael's lieutenant, much the same way that Iswal was mine. He does his master's bidding without question.
Why did Malthael spare you in the tomb of Rakis? Why didn't he take your soul?
I may be mortal, but I am not Nephilim. I have no demon blood in me, and therefore Malthael does not see me as his enemy.
But he thinks that of us? We saved heaven. We killed the lords of hell. Something he was never able to do, I might add.
That is of no consequence. You are half demon to him and therefore on the wrong side of the eternal conflict.
I can see you're still hurting.
I have felt pain before, but nothing like this. It is different being mortal. The pain wears on you.
Welcome to humanity. Do you have any idea why Malthael would want the Black Soul Stone?
I have been thinking on that since our encounter. But every scenario I envision simply doesn't make sense, regardless of what he has become.
Well, whatever his reasons, we know they are not good. Why didn't Tyrael just destroy the Black Soul Stone?
The Black Soul Stone was made by a man, unlike previous Soul Stones. We had no idea what would happen if we destroyed it. It seemed a better idea to hide it away forever. We had no way of knowing that Malthael was watching us the entire time. How could we?
It's too late for blame now. Tell me, when we retrieve the stone, what then? Just hope it doesn't fall into the wrong hands again?
I don't know. But it's better for us to have the stone than Malthael. If we make it that far, we'll worry about what to do next.
Zai was the greatest thief, and he wanted Lyria. He waited patiently for a night when Lyria's path hid her behind the silver moon. For when the sun set, Dirges had to leave Lyria's side, you see, for desire rules the night. He could only watch from below as she drifted across the ocean of stars. Then Zai climbed, silent as a whisper, into Lyria's palace in the heavens.
Ah, true love had captured his heart, eh?
No, but stealing from Dirges would make Zai a legend.
What can you tell me about Urzael?
Well, he seems to have an affinity for fire. I'd watch out for that if I were you.
I guessed as much. Can you tell me anything useful?
Urzael was sent to find Malthael by our friend Tyrael. He blames himself for what Urzael has become. What else can I tell you? I had a vision of death blanketing our world. So I left my people, my family, to come help you.
Leaving your family based simply on a vision must have been a very difficult thing to do.
Nonsense. We veteran often receive visions telling us when it is time to find a new family. I've had many in my life. I still love and miss each and every one of them. Except for Jonah. I never really liked that one.
Noble houses in Westmarch kept massive hunting dogs on their grounds. Though docile enough in life, they have become terrors in the hands of the Reapers. Now these beasts lead the packs of smaller dogs as they chase down the citizens of Westmarch. I don't even want to recall what they do to the corpses.
It is done. The bloodline of Rakis will once again sit on the throne of Westmarch.
And I suppose that would be you, of course.
My grandmother was the daughter of Coralon, but he would not claim her because she was born of a courtesan, not a queen. With the peasants supporting me, Westmarch will become a place of freedom and equality. The idle rich will be no more. Of course, there will be some bloodshed. We must make a few examples, consolidate our power. A small price to pay.
I didn't know your king, but I know I don't care for traitors such as you. You will never rule Westmarch while I still live.
I have spent my whole life preparing for this day.
Let us have at it.
Need more time.
I have come to realize that my personal feelings are of no consequence. My people are dying, and they need their king. Our resistance starts today, and Lord Winton, of all people, has provided the means. These Reapers shall not have Westmarch. I swear my life on it.
Arcane power.
Nothing we have seen in all our travels, no matter how grotesque, prepared me for this. Stories about that for a while.
Didn't see that coming, did you? Still waiting.
My master has begun his work on the stone. Nothing that you do matters. Soon, demons spawn like you will be gone forever.
Are you finished? No one is. No one.
Westmont shall perish in flame.
Truly our champion!
Of course. Run away like the coward you are. I am returning to town.